In this video, we're talking to Return to Monkey Island Animator Tamsin Nunley about some of the video games she's worked on. And also the differences between big and small games. What are some of the games you worked on?
I worked on Black and White 2. I was at Kuju / Headstrong for a while. We did House of the Dead Overkill, which was a lot of fun. I've done Godfinger, which is a mobile game that some people might remember, and Godfinger 2. I seem to do a good line in sequels. I've just finished on Return to Monkey Island. There goes another sequel for you. And I just generally do some kind of Snapchat related stuff, some games and stuff with a company that does a lot of stuff for them. So a decent spread of different things. Like, I'm pretty easygoing. I'm not anti-mobile or anything like that. I'll go where the interesting work is.
Have you worked on any indie games?
I don't think I have. No. I'm a bit of a company person now I think about it. I haven't really been out of work since that initial thing into games, but I've always been working on either quite well-established games or that sort of thing.
Would you be interested in doing any?
Like I say, I'm pretty easygoing. If it's interesting, I'm interested. I've been fairly lucky in that I've found it reasonably easy to follow my line of interest, like Black and White. What animator wouldn't want to work on that, having seen it? The mobile thing, I remember when I first looked on the App Store, I was just like blown away when I finally got an iPhone and wanted to head in that direction. It's always been like I've followed my instincts to a large extent. There's times when you compromise there because redundancy is a thing in the games industry, but you learn not to fear that very quickly. The first time it happens, you're just like, oh my god. It's just part and parcel of it, really. Companies come and go, games come and go, and if you're good and you're not an people know about you and they're willing to work with you. Companies do tend to come calling when they hear about redundancy. I say to a newcomer, don't be disheartened if you get made redundant. It happens to everyone all the time and you'll bounce back from that.
How do indie games differ from big games?
What qualifies as an indie game, really?
Yeah, what is an indie game?
If you go off and you make a little mobile game with a fledgling company, which I have done, does that count as an indie game?
I don't know.
I can tell you about the difference between console and mobile to a certain degree, although even that is shifting as people have more money to throw at mobile games. Those teams are expanding, but my experience really there is just if you go into mobile, you've got more shared responsibility. They tend to have people that can do sometimes more than one thing. I can draw a bit. I'm not going to say I'm a great drawer, but I can do some vector art. That's its own kind of cool thing, really, to be really involved in the development of something rather than just a cog in a wheel that's pumping out animation. But I think sometimes you do want to be a cog in a wheel. What I've wanted out of my career has changed as I've moved forward. And sometimes it's let's get really stuck into this thing and be really noisy and give my opinion about every aspect of this game. And sometimes I just want to do good animation. That kind of shifted again recently when I had my daughter. The amount of mental space it's taking up being involved in all aspects of a game, like I might have done earlier on with sort of Godfinger stuff, and that is now I want to go in, do a good job and then get out again at the end of the day. What's the biggest company I've worked at? Lionhead was a pretty big team, but we were all split into different departments and stuff. You still very much felt part of a team there. It's a really good first job, actually. I remember it very fondly. The advantage of that situation is you might not be involved in the sort of day-to-day decisions. I remember getting there and there were just these beautiful tools that technical artists had made where you could morph the creature and drop any animation on it, and you just felt really spoiled. And certainly, like, subsequently you haven't had that, or you've had to make it yourself or some version of it. You felt really pampered as an animator and you had all this extra time to really focus on animation, which I think is why a lot of those animations still stand up today in Black and White too, because we just had so much to throw at it. Everyone else was dealing with that other difficult stuff and we were out in the car park filming reference for sword fights.
Want to feel pampered? Go for a bigger company. Want to have more input? Go for a smaller company. What if you want both? I don't know. Change industries? Click here if you want to hear Tam's advice on starting in the games industry.